KO Pictures production. Blackstone on tour. Starring the world-famous magician, Harry Blackstone. Kay Blackstone. And the Blackstone Dancers. Gentlemen, the world's foremost magician, Harry Blackstone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Blackstone Magic Show. We're delighted that tonight's performance is being recorded for the home box office audience. And may we tell you at home that what you're going to see is exactly what those folks who are here in the Seattle Opera House will see as they see our performance. No trick photography, just an evening of tricks and illusions. Maestro, may we present a magical tribute to this great land of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, Magic for America.
The flag of our country. And the flag of 76.
Excuse me, mister. Excuse me, fella. Huh. I don't recognize him. Do you know him? He's right. He's one of the local magicians. Oh, really? What's his name? Murphy. Merlin. Oh, I've heard that name. Where's he from? Camelot? Sounds like the rest of the town is here. I don't know about you folks, but I think he looked a little overdressed for the occasion. At this time, I would like to borrow a gentleman's handkerchief. In fact, I'd like to borrow a white handkerchief and one that's still folded, if you please. A gentleman's handkerchief, if you please. Piece of cloth about that square? Surely they use them in this town, they use them in others. A gentleman's handkerchief. Ah, there's one, sir. That's the best you have to offer? Oh, all right. Clean but unbowed. This is your handkerchief, sir. I mean, it's all faithful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to investigate an age-old question with an age-old handkerchief. The question before us, sir, is when is a knot not a knot? And the answer? Well, who cares, really? Do you know how to tie a knot? You don't? Oh, you're just the man I'm looking for, then. Would you tie the ends together as tightly as you wish? After all, it is your handkerchief. Make a wonderful dust cloth when we finish. Would you tie the ends together, sir? Tie it tightly. Don't crunch, just pull. It's fine. You've just tied a knot, a magical knot, a mystical knot. In fact, this is a knot that will untie itself. Watch. You see what I mean? May I borrow the handkerchief a moment? I'll return. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to investigate the world of spirits, spooks, and goblins. Because I'm about to change this handkerchief, your handkerchief, sir, into a ghost. Into a real live ghost. A ghost with muscles. Watch. Wait. Killed it. You know, when you kill a spirit, the first thing you... Uh-oh. A little dance music, maestro. This little bunny is at this moment enjoying its debut in show business. Its very first performance right here in the Seattle Opera House. Its debut. But it's not only its first performance, it's its last. Why? Because I'm going to give this rabbit away to one of the children in the audience. In fact, I'm going to give this rabbit to the first boy or girl in our audience that says, I. No, the first one that says, I. Who said I? Who said it first? Who said it last? Then you're out. No, it sounded to me like it was that young lady right back over there. You think so? Is it all right for her to have the rabbit? It is all right, sweetheart. Here's the rabbit for you. You can... Oh, you would take my rabbit, wouldn't you? Oh, you're one of those, are you?
No.
Oh, yes. I saw you reach up there. You think I'm going to just give it away to just anybody, but I won't give it away unless I get to know you a little better. However, I will promise you this, my dear. What is your first name?
Tracy.
Tracy? Tracy, that's the same name as my youngest daughter, Tracy. You're not. No, you're not. No. Well, Tracy, my love, it's nice to have met you. I give you this rabbit. Take good care of it. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get any on you? Tell you what. You know, bunny toes can be very sharp. Perhaps it would be easier if you take it back to your seat if it's wrapped up a little bit or a piece of paper under. That's fine. Michael, would you bring me out a piece of paper over here? And if you would, dear, you may take this back to your seat if you would. We'll wrap it up right here. Would you hold the corner of the paper right over there? No, that corner there on that side. I'll hold it on this side here. You take it right there, just like that. You have it? Hold it there. Don't let it drop on the floor. Thank you so much, Tracy. And watch your step on the... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you've done it. Oh, Tracy, I didn't think you would do that. What? Don't you realize what you just did? You don't. You just squeezed that rabbit. You did too. I saw you. You are a rabbit squeezer. Oh, yes, you are. Why, you just squeezed that rabbit so tight, it turned into a box of chocolate candies. Well, Tracy, my dear, that's the way it goes sometimes, but it's a mighty good box of candy. So I thank you very much for coming up and helping us out. And watch your step on the way down over there, my dear. Thank you so much. And be very careful. The steps are very, very steep. Thank you so much for coming up. Watch your step right over there, Tracy. Thank you, my dear, for coming up and helping. That's fine. I've been teasing you just a little bit there, and I apologize for teasing you, but I enjoy it so much with the youngster. You see, I'm the father not only of another little girl named Tracy, but I have 4 children. My little Tracy, though, is just about your size. She is a little bit older than you are, though. She's 20. I'm going to tell you a story of once upon a time. Now, it's not that kind of once upon a time, but a real once upon a time. May I have the story lights on, if you please? And this time, the story lights, if you please. Thank you. And now may I have the story steps out, if you please, gentlemen. And we'll place the young lady here upon the story steps. Tracy, would you sit upon the story steps? Carefully. Tracy, may I introduce Michael, the story step pusher? That's fine. Watch him, he takes candy from young ladies. That's it. And so, Tracy, the story of once upon a time. Long years ago in a far-off land called America. North America. Seattle, North America. You ever hear of it? You have. Good. Well, there came to that town one day a magician, a very handsome fellow.
And he called a most attractive young lady upon the stage to receive a bunny rabbit. And what do you think happened, Tracy? As she was about to leave the stage, that young lady in the story, she squeezed that rabbit so tight, it turned into a box of chocolate candies. And she looked back at the magician and said, "Where's my rabbit? All I've got is a dumb box of candy." So the magician said, "I'll tell you a story about that young lady." And he did. The story started once upon a time in a far-off land called... Oh, I told you that one. Then the magician reached down, got the paper that was there on the floor, knowing that he should clean up. Remembering that he'd been told if he would go to Seattle, he would clean up. Then the young lady sat upon the steps, and the magician said to her, "Move over a little bit and I'll sit down next to you." And she did. And as they were sitting there together, the magician took the piece of paper and rolled it into a ball. And as he did so, he said to her, "I'll make for you a paper rabbit. Would you like a paper mache rabbit?" You know what paper mache is? That's when you take paper like this and you mache it. Well, he began to make a paper mache rabbit, beginning with the tail of the rabbit. And he said to the young lady, This is the tail of a rabbit." Kind of a sad tale, isn't it? And then he began to make ears upon the rabbit. And as he did so, he said to the young lady, "Would you like long or short ears upon your rabbit?" And do you know what she said? Short. So he then made short ears. He made first one short ear, which he did like that. Then he made a second short ear, like that. Then he made a face and a body, until he found in the paper between the ears a real live bunny. And then, Tracy, since this was only a once-upon-a-time story, not to be confused with reality, the story had to come to an end. And our story came to an end when the magician asked the little girl to step down off of the story steps, which she did. And as she stood there holding the box of candy, the magician placed the rabbit upon the box of candy. She placed her hand upon the rabbit to keep it from falling on the floor. And then the story came to an end when the little girl took the box of candy and the bunny rabbit home, and they all lived happily ever after.
All right, Lucy. From this moment of fantasy and fun with young Tracy, may we change our tempo and pace and present a moment of supreme reality. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present the most sense-confounding problem upon the stage today. Ladies and gentlemen, the buzzsaw. Now, you have just seen this piece of wood cut in half as easily as a hot knife might cut through butter. Because this blade, this 36-inch solid steel lumber saw blade, is made of the finest, sharpest, tempered steel. And it is, as you can see, connected to this 20-horsepower motor. A motor capable of revolving the saw blade nearly 2,000 revolutions per minute. Therefore, anything or anyone placed beneath these whirling teeth will certainly suffer the same results that befell this piece of wood just a moment ago. Now, it is said that in the Himalaya Mountains, they use hypnotism in order to stop the flow of blood during surgical operations. Well, during this next operation of mine, I will use hypnotism as I am about to saw a lady in half with that blade. So help me. Now, may I suggest, in fact, may I insist, that the weak of heart and the very young and impressionable not watch what is about to occur. Our piece of wood I place into this metal holder. And then, placing it underneath the lady, I want you to see what the saw does to it.
Who got shot?
See what? He shot the flowers. We're about to recreate for you a production number that was first seen about 1934-35 season. It was the opening production number of my father's show. It's called The Enchanted Garden. How many of you here with us this evening believe that the phenomenon known as extrasensory perception is possible? How many of you here believe that ESP does in fact exist? May I see a show of hands? How many believe ESP does exist? Well, may I assure you that I do believe extrasensory perception exists. And I don't need to say I think it's something that I alone can do. It's something that each and every person in this theater has the ability to achieve, if you will. May I demonstrate by inviting a half dozen or so of the adult gentlemen to join me here on the stage for one rather unique experiment in nonverbal communication. The gentleman over there, Milton, a little go-getter music while they're coming up and helping us out. How about you, sir? Come on up and have some fun. Sure, come on. Nice of you. I think we have enough. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming up with such alacrity. Hello there. Would you like to come out a moment? What is your first name?
Bill.
Bill. All right, Bill, I give you the deck of playing cards, or most of them. Now then, are you busy? Not too much. Would you stand over there next to Bill? We're gonna do a card trick now. Would you step forward right there, sir, onto that spot on the floor? Excuse me. No, you see that spot right there? See that spot on the floor? Did you do it? No. We're about to try what I call the fastest card trick in the world. During this, I'm going to invite this young man right here. Would you stand over here, please? I'm going to invite that gentleman to call out the name of a card, and the card you name will jump right out of the deck that Bill has just been mutilating. It will turn around in the air and go into the palm of my hand upside down. Now, as I say, it's the fastest trick in the world. It will happen faster than the eye can see. And the reason I've invited you gentlemen to step forward is that you will be the card holder, you'll be the umpire, and you, sir, will be our timekeeper. You follow what I mean? You follow what I mean?
Yeah.
Stand right there, Bill, with the cards in the palm of your hand. Hold them at eye level, if you will, so that everybody may see this moment of wonder at eye level, if you will, please. My eye level, Bill. That's fine. Hold them very still and do not, under any circumstances, move the hand, unless, of course, we're all asked to evacuate the building. All right, now, into the palm of my hand. Name any card you wish. Out loud. Name it.
Ace of Hearts.
Wrong. No, ace of hearts is the one you want. That's the one we'll use. Right into the palm of my hand. Let's see how long it takes. Time me. See how long it takes to find the ace of hearts. Look at your watch. A little drum roll. If you... Wait a minute. What's the matter? What's the problem? Wait a minute. What do you mean? You don't have a watch. Would you know it? The only guy in the room without a watch. I pick him for a timekeeper. I just picked a timekeeper without a watch. You what?
I had one.
You had one? What do you mean you had one? You had one when?
I had one sitting in that line.
You had one standing in that line? You... Don't let anybody out of the exit signs back there. He's lost his watch. Turns out he lost it. Maybe you put it in your pocket when you were washing your hands. Huh? No, you don't wash your hands. Huh? I see. All right, well, check in your side pocket.
Look way down on the side there. Can't seem to find his watch anywhere. Not there either? Oh, that's too bad. I'll tell you what. Look in your back pocket there. See if you can find it there in the back. Not there? Well, can't find it anywhere.
Tell you what, my friend, I always carry an extra watch with me in just such an emergency. Happens to be a very handsome watch. This is a... I've never seen one of these before. It's a one-jewel watch. What is your first name? Paul. Well, it must be yours. And inscription right here on the back. Was this a gift? I see. Well, inscription right here. It says, "To Paul, with love, from all the guys." Paul turns out to be kinky. Well, Paul, now that we know about you, take that, wear it in good health. That, oh, I'm sorry, no, it's stuck to your fingers there. Paul, you know, you've been a good sport to put up with this fools. May I ask you, sir, are you a drinking man?
Partially.
Well, partially, I don't mean all the time. I mean on auspicious occasions, like sundown. Yes. Well, whenever anybody's been as nice as you've been to come up and put up with this foolishness, we'd like for them to go home and have a little belt on the house, and I found that one around your waist. See, I got that from you just a moment after I got your keys out of your pocket right over there, which was shortly after I got your wallet out of your back pocket. You've been kind of a tough season, hasn't it, Paul? Really? Do they know? No one knows? Oh, gee. In all the years I've done this, the first time I ever dipped a narc. Well, that'll blow your cover. Turns out to be a cop. Well, Paul, my friend, I hope you don't mind. It was all done in fun. If you'll step back there, that's what we call the fastest card trick in the world. You didn't even see it, did you, Bill? Well, you step back on line while the deafening applause. So sorry. Thank you very much. And let's thank all of these gentlemen for coming up and having a nice big hand for them. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman just going down the steps there, sir. Excuse me. Before you leave, what is your name? John? Oh, Don. Don, come here a second. I thought you might like to have this. There's your necktie. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a man who now knows he doesn't have to go to Las Vegas to lose his shirt. Maestro, if you please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to join us in a circus of mysteries. Maestro, if you please. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present Misty, 6,500 pounds of pachydermic prestidigitation. An animal with an amazing sense of balance. Watch her balance on any 2 feet. No, the other 2 feet, Misty. No, the other 2. There we go. A nice hand for Misty. Now, as Misty steps down and says hello to all of our friends, Misty, I would like you to step forward, my dear. Just step forward. Now, sit down upon the bench. Sit down upon that tiny pedestal. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bess Reynolds with Misty. And a nice bow. How about that? Thank you, Misty. And now, ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, as we continue in the center ring of our magical circus, may we present the greatest trick on earth. As we present this part of our circus performance, I would like to once again present this young lady, whom you've met on several occasions. As you step into the audience, my dear, I would like one of the gentlemen, perhaps the gentleman on the end of the second row right there, sir. Would you mind standing a moment and look at this young lady? Look at her and tell me, sir, would you recognize her if you ever saw her again? You think so? Have you ever seen or spoken to this young lady before this moment? You'd rather not answer, I see. Do you have a personal item that you would loan her for a moment or two? A personal item that will serve as a means of identification? Perhaps a set of keys, house keys, car keys, something of that type. Something that is unquestionably yours. She will, more than likely, return them. However, may I ask you to sit down? That way, in the event he does not recognize her, he will, of course, recognize his own set of keys. If he ever sees them again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, watch the greatest trick on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen the young lady placed into the muzzle of this cannon, along with several pounds of gunpowder and your set of keys. Suspended above our heads, high there in the air, is a circus trunk, a brightly colored circus trunk that has been there since we began our performance. Now, she is in the cannon, the trunk is overhead. Watch a possible impossibility. Watch the trunk. And will the gentleman in the audience please stand to receive your keys, sir? Are those the very same keys you gave her a moment ago? The same ones. Therefore, that is the same young lady on a trip through space, the greatest trip on Earth. And thank you. Excuse me, Merlin, get up. Merlin, get off of this stage. No, hey, come here. Ladies and gentlemen, please would you join me in thanking this wonderful orchestra under the direction of Mr. Milton Chester of New York. Milton, take a bow. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you all. Hope you enjoyed the performance. Hope to see you again in the near future. Until next evening, thank you and good night.